Hi everyone, Tim Hodges with Cam McConville for the Armour All Summer Grill. One of the great supercar stories of 2016 was Tekno's win in the Bathurst 1000. It was actually their second win at Mount Panorama this year. It was, and I know they've won a lot of races as a team, but this really was 2016 their breakout year, wasn't it, Cam?
Oh, for sure, to win in multiple categories. And the Bathurst 12 Hour, you can't underplay how big an event that is getting on the European stage. You know, all the factory teams and the Blancpain series are talking about it, and they all come out for it now. It's got bigger and bigger. It's the second biggest event, I think, on the motor racing calendar to the 1000, and they won them both. So very different style of events, obviously a different product, a McLaren and a Holden, but you know, I mean, that is huge for any race team. They should be hanging their hat on that for a long time.
You were there on the podium with Jono Webb and Will Davison on the Bathurst 1000 day. Did you feel for both of the boys, especially Jono, who owns the team, and Will as well for that matter, just the fact that they couldn't celebrate it quite as much with the appeal, even for the week after the race, the appeal from Triple Eight really hanging over their heads? Yeah,
I do feel for them. I mean, that's motor racing, and Red Bull were entitled to the process, you know, at the time, and obviously the process was a little wrong as it turned out that they couldn't appeal. But at the time, I just feel that Jono was a bit more reserved, you know, and I only sat 2 seats from him next to Nick on that at the press conference. Will couldn't care less. He was enjoying it, and I was the same. I was like, oh well, protest, whatever. I'm going to enjoy being on the podium. But you know, for Jono, and he's obviously he's the business end of the team now. He's running the team along with his wife Kobe. So maybe he was just a little bit reserved, worrying that it could be taken away. But you know, I think it was great that in the end it wasn't.
And then do you worry about the team that they've got so many resources that they're GT racing, they're V8 supercar racing, that they've actually taken on too much going forward?
Well, I'm not privy to seeing their workshop, and I know they've been advertising for extra crew, yep. So they're expanding. I mean, they've run up to 3 or 4 McLarens in GT, that's the Sprint Series and the Endurance Series. You know, it'd be nice to see them run a couple of V8s, you know, and not just the Lone Ranger, but that model clearly works for them at the moment. I mean, in motor racing these days, if you're going to run it as a business, you know, you have to be able to be versatile, and I think running in multiple categories is probably the way of the future, rather than just having all your eggs in one basket. And Tekno run a very professional outfit. The team looks fantastic.
And just on the supercar side, Will Davison finished 5th in this year's championship. Do you think he can take the next step next year with this team and be a serious title contender?
That's going to be tough. You know, I mean, I think Will's a great driver. I think he's got better and better. And again, he just seems to look right in that team. The environment seems right for him. He seems happy and enjoying his racing, which is a big part of getting results, enjoying the environment you're in. I'm not sure a one-car team can win a championship. I think that's tough. I know they have links to Triple Eight. They get you know, data or access to some data. I'm not exactly sure how much, but they get Shane's fastest lap every session and how that works, but they get some data. But I think it'd be tough. But I think, you know, top 5 again is what you'd expect from Will next year, and no doubt he can do that.
Thank you for your time, mate. Tekno, a real breakout year. Here is the team boss, Jonathan Webb.
Jono, a massive year for Tekno Autosports, Bathurst 12 Hour victory and Bathurst 1000 victory. You were actually in the car for both of them, so team owner win, tick, driver win, tick. Must be pretty special to reflect on that all now.
Yeah, absolutely. We've it's been a big year. It's been a huge year. Didn't really get to enjoy it or appreciate it, I guess, at the time, but now sitting back, the season's done, just really sucking in the 12-hour win, you know, our first thing with Tekno and McLaren. The year in the Supercars has been great. Obviously, it took us a little bit of time to get settled with Will, new driver, new relationship there, but again, the year's pushed on really, really well. And to come home with a 1,000-kilometre race win as well at Bathurst was, you know, a dream come true, particularly to do them both in the 1 year. It's been huge, and now we just look forward to next year. This one's been good, and hopefully next one can be better.
The Bathurst 1000, obviously the history books will look pretty clean with your name and Will's in it, but the appeal was obviously a big deal at the time. Awkward too, because the relationship obviously is there with Triple Eight, with technologies. What did you make of all that? Did it sour it a bit for you?
Yeah, look, it wasn't ideal. There's no doubt about it. But at the end of the day, you know, Sunday, we got to stand on the podium, got to shake the champagne, drink a bit out of our shoe at the same time. Yeah, it was a special moment at the time. So for me, trying to ignore everything that happened from there on, you know, make the most of what the day was, standing up on the podium and really sucking that emotion.
And obviously, new driver this year, and Will Davison replaced Shane van Gisbergen. But there was a little bit of a common theme from previous years where the highs were very high, but there was some weekends where you struggled to get the car in the window. How do you improve that for next year to make sure that the car is there all year long?
It's something we continue to work on as a team. We are obviously a small group. We've got a relationship with Triple Eight, but we still work on our own, push forward on our own as best we can. And I think we definitely stepped forward as a group this year. Some of the lows that really haunted us last year with Shane, we were able to pick up and weren't quite as bad. Our average of points was good. So you'll continue to do that again next year and continue as a group just to keep pushing on, try and lift our level, give Will the best car we can, and hopefully leave it up to him to bring home the trophies.
Each week, Armour All will be giving away the Ultimate Summer Essentials Pack.
The pack comprises a range of products to keep your car cool and clean this summer.
The pack includes Armour All Wash and Wax Pro Glide, Armour All Sponge, Armour All Protectant, Armour All Air Fresheners, Armour All Cream Cut and Polish, Armour All Windscreen Wash and Armour All Glass Wipes. You'll also win an Armour All Bucket Esky to keep you cool this summer.
To enter the draw, all you have to do is click on the link in the description below and fill in your details. It's that easy.
We'll see you tomorrow for another episode of the Armour All Summer Grill.
So you finish washing your car, or you think you've finished washing your car, but there'll be a couple of areas left, and typically they'll be under your wheel arches here and your mud flaps. Now, a great product for that is the Armour All Tyre Foam. Whilst it's actually designed for tyres, works great in those areas. All you've got to do is spray the foam under in and around there. The foam will actually collapse, take away the grime, and just leave a nice clean surface under there. And let me tell you, when you've got your car washed and that bit's done, now it's clean.